Hello, I'm Christian Easley.
I'm Alex Kulova.
I'm Kyle Burkhardt.
I'm Nick Thielen.
And today we're going to talk to you about our new prototype design for our shower and bath combination that we came up with. So what's the problem with today's showers? When you go to a hotel or a new apartment, you always have the problem of having a brand new shower head, something that will look like this. And they're always different, always kind of a little bit cumbersome, but they take a little while to get used to. So what we have is we have 3 prototypes that we came up with, or I'm sorry, the test. There are 3 tests that we wanted to solve were to regulate the water temperature, to have accurate control, so you're not touching your toe in there, touching with your hand for safe water temperature, to regulate the water pressure for the bath and the shower head, and changing from a bath to a shower. So our 3 prototype designs. This is our first design, which solves the problem of the shower, but didn't exactly solve the problem of the bathtub. And it shows the shower head can move from side to side, but that didn't solve our bath. So our prototype 2, I was kind of going for kind of a nice aesthetic look, but this, again, was just a shower. And we came up with this idea to just have a single set button to turn the shower on and off. And that led to our 3rd and final prototype, which we will talk about later. It has the button and a sliding track for the shower head to be used as a bath and a shower. And Alex will talk to you now more about that process.
Alright, the process we went through, we first wanted to know our target users, so we decided that we were going to go for younger users, people that were more inclined to use new types of products and might be interested in a redesigned bath. So we took the existing problems that Christian described with baths, where you can't regulate the water temperature, everyone's always struggling to find the perfect balance. It goes from extremely freaking hot to incredibly cold. And so we wanted to put in a little temperature gauge that you could look at. We designed our prototype and we showed some users. We put it into a PowerPoint because we wanted people to feel like they were interacting with it in some way. And so we would click to the next, as many of you saw. And then we got user feedback. We took time on how long it took users to complete the tasks that they were assigned. And we recorded the number of errors on 2 different computers with 2 different raters, and then we compared the number of errors and averaged them. And we also administered a survey afterwards. And then we redesigned our prototype at the end to accommodate some suggestions and some usability findings that we found through user error and time. And this is a little movie we have showing the prototype as it was. As you can see here, we have an on and off button. And right there is a temperature gauge that shows the temperature so that you never have to guess what temperature your bath is at. That way you can easily see. And right here the user is turning the water hot and turning the water to cold. This is the thing that people had the most problem with when we showed users, which was the water pressure slider. Now we believe that much of the problem is due to the type of prototype that we designed. As you can see, it's very flat and it's difficult to identify this. It's very small. But we decided that if we had a different type of prototype that used a different angle and maybe showed a much more 3D effect, it would have been easier to discern. And once again, like I said, we presented users with this prototype and asked users to complete the tasks. There were 16 tasks in total. Each involved one of the three main tasks, which was regulating water temperature, regulating water pressure, and switching from the shower mode to the bath mode, which you saw in the track, as users were able to slide the shower to the top or the bottom. And like I said, we measured the speed and the amount of errors that users committed. And here's a graph that shows the amount of errors. Most users had problems, like I said, with task 7, which involved, between task 6 and task 8, which involved the water pressure slider. So people weren't able to easily discern what the water pressure slider was. And there was also a large convention that we didn't initially anticipate, which was people thought that to slide if you slid the sliders to the right, that would increase water pressure, and we had that as decreasing. So everybody committed an error right there when they tried to slide it to the right. There were a few nominal errors across the way. With first, a lot of people weren't able to identify how to turn on the water in the first place. We believe, again, that might have been its visibility thing. You know, it's difficult to see in our prototype that it was a button, but if we had a 3D model, it would be easier to see what it stuck out that it was indeed a button. And I will pass it on to Kyle.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the error that we created with our our model being a two-dimensional object and really hard to discern what exactly you're clicking on. Like Alex said, the error we had was with our water pressure slider. As you can kind of tell, it's not three-dimensional at all, and you can't see that it's a slider. So we came up with this, and you can see over here that you can pop the little button out, and you can actually tell that it is completely different, and it's an actual button or a lever that they can slide back and forth. Also, the convention between left and right, high and low was off, so we switched that around in our new design. But this is, again, the highest issue or error task that we had. So I'll give it to Nick.
Based on the data that we collected, we were going to switch to a higher fidelity model. We're going to switch to something far more 3D so we can eliminate the problems with the button itself and the shower head, as they were flat and hard to distinguish. And future design considerations, basically we figured out showering is not a shared experience. People want that to be their own thing so you can save your setting, and that way you can come back to it whenever you want. And everybody wants to go green, so we're installing a greenhouse shower stall which decreases heat loss and can also increase privacy if that's something that interests you. And we can also go even more green by increasing a shower head that introduces air into the water and uses 30% less water, or we could just have it introduce air into the water and increase the pressure so that people can have the nice strong shower that they want. And based on our testing, we've decided that far more testing is required to see if these changes that we're going to make will actually have an effect, or we will have to redesign our prototype.
Thank you.